Hello everybody, Steven here. So today we gonna model the Villa d'Alba Barranco house. And before we start, I just went on ArcDaily, get some idea of the what the house look like, and get some different point of views, outside, inside, and also to get all the floor plans that we need to start a model. Other places that you get some photos would be Flickr. Um, Usually get different type of photos here. There's models. You can also go on Pinterest. Here there will be some more information, like you can see some isometric drawings and some with dimensions. And so you don't like this one. And then you could also go on YouTube and have a kind of video walkthrough. And finally, I went on Google Map to kind of see what's the context of that house and where it's located in France. And it's also good because I could just use the little guy to go on the street view and kind of see what the house look like from the outside. The entry is pretty cool here. The wall, a lot of character, different materials, and you could also go onto Sketchup. And usually, a lot of the iconic houses has been modeled already. So this one is done in SketchUp. I just got the model from the Google warehouse. This will help me get some dimension off and get a better understanding of what the house look like in 3D. Okay, let's get started. Let's see what we can do in about an hour. So I've already opened up a new ARCHICAD file. What I'm going to do is just drag and drop all the floor plans. Maybe first I'm just going to add a story. First floor. At this stage, I'm not really sure what's the height between levels, but it doesn't really matter for now. So I'm just gonna take the ground level, just drag and drop here. And so that's one way of doing it. Either just drag and drop, or let's say I'm gonna make a copy and Control T to get in selected, Control T to go in settings, open, go to your folder where you put all your drawings and just select the other ones, roof levels, and, or you could just use the figure tool to add one more. But for me, it's easier to just drag and drop from your folder. So here I got all the three floor plans. Why do it this way first is because I need to scale them. So right now there's no dimension here. But what I can do is to go back on my SketchUp model and kind of get a dimension that's here. So you can see, I think the floor plan should be like this. And this dimension, I think it's 7.5. Let's check that. Yeah, so 7.45. For the sake of to be simple, we're just gonna say it's 7.5. I'm just gonna select all of those, press the Control K. That's like the shortcut to get the Resize Tool. And roughly this is going to be 7.5. And I'm going to take it maybe let's just do the wall. 7.5 from wall to wall. 7.5. And so now we got our floor plan that's roughly the correct scale. So now I'm just going to take the first floor. I'm going to press Control X to cut it, put it back, Control V, the first floor, go back here, Control X, go to the roof, and press Control V to copy. One thing left is to bring in some of the elevations. So let's start with north. And do I have the north elevations? I'm just gonna bring in all the elevations first. One that I've saved. Like it's sometimes for some reason the image doesn't stick here, like the drag and drop. So just do the other technique where you can just take the figure tool and bring in another image, press Ctrl T, and just select the view that you want, and it will appear. And maybe just copy this one, Ctrl T. Where is the other? So those two. I think here you got east and west. And if we look at from the front, so that was the front. So go back to our Google map, go back here, and we select that. So north is going up, so this is the north face, east, west, and south. So we know that. So this is the north face, that thing. So this is north, south, east, and west. Now let's go. I think they're all the same size right now, so I'm just going to select all. I think there was this one that we resized to 7.5, and you can see this one actually has the cladding. So anyway, just going to do 7.5. This is just to give us some guidelines, so I'm just going to take it where there's the columns. 7.5, and so this is north. I'm going to take those two. I'm going to copy to south, paste. So south's going to be somewhere around here. I'm going to copy this one into east. East will be this one, and this ground floor is going to be right there. Copy, go to west side, paste it, and just going to move that here, so it should be around there. This one I'm going to bring here, and like that. There's a south. This one's gonna be here. Okay, so now we have our floor plans, drawings, and also have some sections. So for the sections, first I'm just gonna bring this section in, and of course it doesn't work, so I'm just gonna make a copy of that. Control T, open that section here. So that section, we take the section tool, should be so that's the east side, cutting through the house. I think it's cutting through that ramp, so it should be maybe something like this. And so we can cut that and open this section, press OK, paste it at the center, and that's what we should have. And then there's another section. See, section 4. But this one Looks like it's where there's this staircase. Like that. And cut it. Open. Go there. Paste. And finally, oops, make a copy. Open. Okay, how come nose drawing is showing? Section 3. Oops, this one is tiny. But what we can do is to measure this. So it's about 6.5. So this is this one. Is it? No, I think it's this one here. So this one is a 7.5. Just gonna resize that. 7.5. And actually I think this one is cutting in here. And voila. We all can move stuff around after. Just realized there's one another plan that's a street level. So this is just like this is the garden level. If we go to this one, so you have the garden level, the first floor, and the roof. So say, I guess this is the ground level, first garden level on the first floor. So we'd have to add another one in here. Just gonna type it garden level, and this one's on street level. So now this is, I guess, correct. And we go to garden level. Oops, where's the plan? The plan is on street level. This is going to be resized, and we can just quickly measure this wall. So I'll press M to get the measure tool. So it's about 11.8, and I'm just take that and resize, and 11.8. Just gonna try to superimpose it, make a copy. Now a little shortcut, instead of just clicking here, you could press Ctrl and the arrow keys, so the one to go up, and it will take you up a level. And now I pressed Ctrl V to copy. And if you have the workspace zoomed out enough to fit in the image, it will paste it exactly where it used to be on the lower level. And I did it wrong. So actually this one should have been above. So I'm gonna copy that, paste it, and try to take the other photos. So right now, if you have two images that are on top of each other, you can cycle through the image by pressing tab. I know this is 27. I press again, 33, you can see, and so I click, Control X, and now I just can go back down by pressing Control and the arrow key down. And Oops, I'm just gonna delete that and paste. Okay, and I'm gonna quickly save that to Villa. Okay, and I guess now we can start modeling. Maybe to give us a base, we'll create a quick mesh. I'm gonna use the mesh tool here, and I'm just gonna roughly click on all this corner. Doesn't need to be super precise, just to give it a base to work on. And I'm just going to send it to the back so that the image is still showing. So if we go into the 3D view by pressing S5, we get the shape of our site. There's no contour on it yet, but I guess we'll just work on that later. And we can start working on the slabs. Just gonna take the slab tool and quickly going over, and I'm gonna try to keep it like a rounded dimensions. So here I just switch it the geometry method to polygonal, so I can just click on all the corners. So here I'm pressing shift to constrain the line, so it's vertical, and you can see some guidelines are appearing to ease for that. Let's go into 3D. You can see here I'm just gonna make it that so it's popping out, and I'm just gonna make a quick wall. I think the first stage is just to get the massing right, and then you can change the wall size, the heights, just to get it started. So now that we got our slab, we know that there's a perimeter wall. So I'm just gonna select the wall tool. Gonna change to a simple composite, a simple structure, and I'm just gonna make it a bit bigger. I think that wall is about 350. So let's go 350, and I'm gonna use the space bar because I created a slab. I can use that as a reference for the wall tool. So I'm gonna press space bar. You can see that margin one's popping, and you have to go inside that slab that you just created and click. So now you'll see that a wall's been created at the perimeter of that slab. And one thing that I like to do is to select all the walls, press Ctrl T, and just make sure that they are defined as an exterior wall. And then what I can do is to make some copies, and that all the way there. Oops. Make sure that this one is set to a interior wall. And we can do the same for the small little walls there, and we're just gonna set them to 100. And I'm gonna make one here. I can take that, and I'm gonna make a copy. So I pressed Control D to move stuff, and I press Control to get a little plus so I can make another copy. And I'm gonna do 7,000. And now I can press Control. There's a little scissor that's gonna be up here, and I can cut the part that I don't want. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna press Control D. It's a shortcut to for the drag command, and I'm gonna do one here, 3000, and then set one there, the one, go down, check that. So you can see because I did it in one move, so it grouped those two walls. If you want to make a copy of that, because you know that's the same size and length, so you can just ungroup by pressing Alt G. So now you can just select that and Control D to drag copy, and here 2.5. And I think those are walls as well, but a bit thinner. Here I'm just gonna drag it so it's in line with this. And there's this diagonal as well. So I'm just gonna take that wall, make a copy, and try to follow that guideline, which is at 90 degrees. And 1.450. I'm gonna drag it to there. And I'm gonna resize it to 100. There's another one here. It says 600. Oops, make sure you make a copy by pressing Control. And there's one here, so I'm just gonna grab this one right there, make a copy, 1000. And now because I wanna cut it, so I can just do this, adjust, and select that line. Oops. I think it did that because this side is shorter than this. So what you could do is just maybe shorten those one, just by aligning them with that edge, and close it off. And this one I'm just gonna bring into here and then just gonna stretch that here so I can use the cut tool. Okay, I think those are columns. Let's measure those columns. Let's say 600. Take the column tool, make sure it's square, type it 600, because they are linked, so they will have the same width and depth. Press OK, put it here, and because I know that they have the same angle as this wall, so I'm just gonna drag it here and use that as reference to do my rotation. Click on the first point, second point, then turn. And I'm gonna have one here. I'm gonna move it so that this corner. So here I pressed. What did I press? I pressed Control and Alt to get the plus plus, so it allows me to do more than one copies. And I want to make sure that it hits here. I'm gonna do that as well here, even though they're round. I can tweak that later. I'm sure there's a spacing that is following, but for now I just want to get things in place. And so I'm just gonna move that here, and those two are round, so we're just gonna go back into the settings, change to round, and they're a bit too big. They're a bit bigger, so I'm just a bit smaller. Too small, so 500. Okay, and we got this wall here, 850, and you can see those are actually like bigger walls. So what I'm gonna do is to just take this wall, make a copy, and just add it. Oops. And okay, so it should be the other way around, so I'm just gonna flip it, select those two and change the weight to 200. And I think that's the same for here. So I'm just going to take those two and increase the weight 200. Okay, let's go in the 3D view. So we got our basic floor. And so you can see here you got doors. So if you have doors, it means that there's a small wall there. Mine must be at 6, so I'm just gonna add it here, and I'm gonna stretch it there. Maybe this one's gonna be like 50 or even thinner, 25, and let's move it 100, and another 25 here. That's gonna be along there. And I think that's some type of wall as well. Let me see a door. I'm just gonna take that. Maybe this actually is a wall as well, similar to this. So just gonna take that. So it's the same angle. I'm gonna bring it here. I'm gonna use this as a center line, and I'm just gonna mirror another wall on that side. And now I'm just gonna create a perpendicular wall. This one we could actually just move it so it goes there. And add a wall here. 1.1. Another one here. 3.4. Too much. Let's see. And look at that. Let's go to 3D. That's what I would like. And maybe we can just, so there's a door, so maybe we can add this door. I think here there's different type of levels, but we can tweak that later. Maybe doors. Click the door tool here, and just gonna go with a normal door. And there's gonna be one here, there, here. This is like a 2 doors. And I don't really know how that door works. But yeah, that's what we got so far. So now we're gonna go to the upper levels. What I like to do is to just take the slab that I created, put it on top, and to see if they kind of align. So it kind of works. It's just this spot that needs to be redone. So I'm just gonna subtract that shape from here. So I've used the subtract command here, and I'm just gonna make it clean and remove that point. And what we can do now, you can see you get the same columns, but this one they turn into circles. So what I'm gonna do is to take those columns, just take the columns, make a copy. I'm gonna go to the upper level by pressing Ctrl and the top arrow, and I'm gonna copy. So now I got all of them in place. roughly where they should be. So you can see, maybe I should have moved a little bit. And yeah, so now they're in place and everything should be around. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to press Alt to get the, I don't know, like the sucking tool, to get the properties of that column. And if I press Ctrl Alt, I'll have the syringe tool that I can inject the same property in a column element, so it will transform. It's just a bit faster than trying to go look here and retype the dimensions. And you can see that those walls and this little wall are there too, so we can just go back there, take those two, and make a copy, go to the upper levels, press, and we can just cut those ones, make sure those ones connect. Now here we have a big wall, and those are like glass doors and windows, but are still inset in a wall. Oh, anyway, we need to have walls to insert those windows. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna take the wall tool, and now it's the same size as this. I'm just gonna take that, absorb the properties of that wall, go up, you get the wall tool selected, press spacebar to get inside that slab, and now you get a perimeter wall. I'm gonna extend this one a little bit, and not too sure about this one, so maybe look at the, also it's underneath and you can just see through. You can see here is just a big glass, and you get part of the wall there. Oops. So let's look at a model. That's what we have. Is it normal to have that little piece here? I guess I should have that little piece at the bottom as well. Let me look. Oh, yep, should have gone all the way there. So now I need to check from the gallon level. I'm going to show that as a trace reference. As you can see, because of the drawing, it doesn't show me. So what I like to do is to select the drawing and hide that layer for now. And now you can see the top of the wall. I'm going to take that and I'm just going to stretch it. So now when you look at the 3D view, they're all together. I mean, I could have just stretched that wall all the way up, but right now I'm still not sure if that's what I want to do, so I'm just going to keep it like that. And maybe now that's a good time to check the different height level. Drawing does disappear because I've turned it off. But what we're going to do now is just measure. So it's 3 meters. And the top level is like 4 meters. And to the roof, and take it to the swimming pool, or maybe to here. 5, so 3 meter, 4 meter, 3.5. 3 meter, 4 meter, and 3.5. Maybe I should just put the at the pool level because that's where people are actually going to be walking. maybe 2.5, and make sure that the section marker is actually showing the roof level, story level. It's not here, it's in here. Design, story setting, this needs to be clicked. Yep. And now if we go back, you can see I changed size because those walls are actually stuck to the bottom of the first floor level. So if I change the story level, the wall height, and all those elements that have a property that allow it to be stuck to a level, they will move. Okay, good. So now we got a garden floor. Make sure that the side arrow is back. And here what I like to do is maybe create that garden surface. You can see a staircase. There's a staircase here as well. So this is at the street level and this is up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick street level, try to select the mesh. I'm going to make a copy and paste it in the same place. What I'm going to do is remove that part here and here. Let's try to select the mesh and I'm going to remove that. I can use the rotated rectangular to try to move things a bit faster. And this one here, 2 meters. This one needs to go all the way there. And I'm gonna move that point. I can remove that as well. Because of course there's the slab. And make it to the corners. You can just add some point by clicking on the edge. Okay, and this actually is going further. Yeah. And remove that. So let's go into 3D. That's what it looks like. Doesn't look that correct. Let's go to here. And maybe go to the 3D view. Okay, they don't show the staircase here. Maybe if we go to some photos, actually this should be at the ground level. Yeah, it's a bit above the. So actually, even this one should be at different levels. But I guess for now, let's just not worry about that. Let's go to the upper levels, and here I'm going to show trace reference so I can move this, and I'm going to use that little point as the reference. I'm going to go to gallery level, copy that slab, and actually I'm going to copy the one below because it was already extending a little bit in here, and I'm going to copy, and you can see I'm just going to drag that point, and yeah, size is this 7.5. So we're just going to leave it at that for now, and now we just need to pull this one in, this one, and we're going to set it to 6.4, and maybe 6 meters. Voila, and like this. Let's go in 3D view. So that's going to be our upper levels, and take the wall tool. I think that's like a gap. What I'm going to do is remove the reference thing, create this, and now I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to extend it, can flip it, and I'm going to do 4.5. And I'm just going to make sure that this is considered as an interior. And like those two, and I'm going to flip it the other way. This one can be stretched because I know there's a door there, and we'll do the same thing for here. There's a wall, so I'm going to take the wall that I made here and this one and copy all the way to the top, and take this one, like select the properties, inject it on this one, and delete the doors, and take the property of this, copy here. I'm gonna make one here as well, so I can use that as a way to cut the wall to size. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. That cut here, and oops, I should have made a copy. I'm gonna make a copy here, one here as well. Delete that. This is going here, and yeah. Flip it. This one, bring it all the way here. Copy, flip it. Voila. It's kind of a weird door there. Yeah, we get this type of wall. Oops. Oh, 50. And I think I'm gonna do 1000. 50. 618. And I'm gonna move it so it's in line with this. And I guess, oops, this one is not straight. Connect them. And for some reason it's not connecting properly. I can just move it around and make sure. Okay, let's go in 3D. Now we get a top wall. This one we can stretch it in 3D. And let's go into the section. This slab, I'm gonna turn it the other way around, and the thickness of it, let's say we're gonna do 600. And this one we're gonna turn it as well, and the slab thickness is gonna be 300. Okay, now we just need to get our last floor. It's gonna be the roof level, and just put that in and take that in here. So we need to create this one. So this one's a bit higher, and so there's a 2 slab that we need to make. I'm gonna just take this, I'm gonna copy, put it on the roof, paste it. I'm gonna paste another one. Take this one first, and I'm gonna, oops, subtract the part that I don't want. And then I'll take the other one, change the geometry methods to rotate it, so I can do it in one go. So now we got the 2 different slab. This one should be a bit higher. I think it's, we'd say 3.5, 2.5, so we can raise it by 1 meter. Okay, and now we can just go into the sections, and we can see where there's the pool actually that's a bit thinner than here. And for some reason, maybe we can just do 3 then. So I'm gonna make another copy. And let's just paste it on top. So I'll just drag and make a copy over. Subtract this part here. Take this one. And oops. Subtract this side. This one we're gonna say it's gonna be like 100 or maybe 150. This one finish will be to like 300 or something. Oh, this needs to be around here. That makes more sense. And maybe 400. Now we just need to pull those ones, and they're actually a bit higher. 3.5. So let's do 1.2. And now we just need to pull those walls here. So make sure you can select them individually. And I'm just going to pull them. Or you can just select them and say increase by 1.2. So actually this one should be just one wall and with like a space in between. Okay, so we got a rough massing. Let's kind of quickly check if it's about the same. So you get two those volumes here. This one is to actually this go all the way there. So we go to garden level. This one needs to here. This actually doesn't exist. And this one needs to go down. I don't know if I'm in the correct position here. I think I am. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do now is to just quickly add some windows, or to give us to really kind of separate the mass volume. Just gonna take a random wall tool and just stretch it, and let's go in 3D view. I'm gonna make sure that this set to wall base is gonna be 0, and it's gonna go all the way to the top. Oops. And I'm gonna use that to stretch vertically, and I'm gonna change it to text class for now. And I'm just gonna copy the same window so I get the same height. One here, and I'm just gonna stretch that all the way. And you can see here they have like lighted corner. It's gonna go into settings and custom corners, corner left and corner right, 90 degrees, and I can just push it here. This one's gonna be the same. And it's gonna be on the right. Yeah. Take this one. There, and actually is on both sides. Big window there. This one. make sure that this correct thing. Well, this one is actually not 90 degrees, so I'll just have to tweak it to 500. And what's that angle? I'll just make here 42, 47. This one thing, it's here. Okay, and I'm gonna pull this. Okay, let's see that 3D. So you get the perfect corner here as well. And maybe in the meantime, what I can do is to count how many millions is it. 1, 2, so is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll take this one. I mean, that's, like I said, that's not how I will do it in the final, I mean, at the end. But it's just to help me get started, so I know what to modify later on. Such, I'm gonna make a grid and vertically 8. No, let's do this 1, and this is 8. And let's, so those ones like 1, that's 2. One, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slash. And 6 and 1. And this one is a 2, but it's on a bit more on that side. So instead of using this one, I can just do editable grid and 1 and 2. And now I think so it's like 1.6. I think in the 3D view you can actually shift this a bit this way. Okay, let's go to full 3D, and that's what we have so far. I think I'm just gonna cut this. This one's a bit bothering me. So I'm just gonna go to the gathering level, and I think from here I'm just gonna remove it. And because here we have a wall, maybe I'm gonna continue that wall all the way. Yeah. Oops. And maybe just make this one a concrete wall, so and maybe push this one back in. Okay, let's go to the SketchUp model, see how much different it is. But it is quite high. What's the difference? 5.7. And oops, R1. So press M. That's a much higher. I think maybe here. Oh, so it's dropping a little bit. Let's go back to our model, and I think let's go to this section here. Oh yeah, so it does drop by here. So here is going to be 5.7. So it's correct. So if I go back to my first floor, and we're just gonna there. Or is there a step? So I'm just gonna make a copy of that, and I'm gonna remove this side, this one here, and I'm gonna that side. And now I'm gonna select that. There's this one here, and I'm gonna drop it 900. And is it just this side? Okay, so it's the whole thing that's dropping 900. So normally those windows are actually smaller. Oops. So 2.5, and I guess this one is, oh, I guess this one needs to be broken up into two windows, I guess. What I'm gonna do first is the wall here, and those walls, and I'm gonna drop them 900. Make sure that they line up. Zoom in, and for some reason that has been shifted a little bit. Okay. And I guess size wise a bit better. But yeah, okay, that's gonna be it for today. I think the next part of it we're just gonna add the post, maybe to the windows, and maybe look into the different staircase and ramps. Thank you.